What if there's one vegetable sitting right now in your grocery store for less than two? That clinical research shows can nearly double blood flow down there in men over 50, and your doctor has never once mentioned it? Here is the number that stopped me cold the first time I read it. By age 55, over 52% of men are already experiencing measurable decline in circulation to that area. By 65, that number climbs to nearly 70%. I'm talking about reduced morning wood, weaker performance, and a quiet loss of confidence that most men never talk about, not even to their doctors. But here is the thing, gentlemen, this is not simply about getting older. This is about what you are or are not putting on your plate. Today, I am counting down 5 specific foods that restore blood flow down there after 50. And the number one food on this list, a single vegetable, is so powerful that one urologist called it nature's answer to the little blue pill. Stay with me until the very end, because number one will change how you shop for groceries forever. I'm Dr. Sarah Collins, a board-certified urologist with 12 years of experience, and I specialize in helping men over 50 reclaim their vitality, their confidence, and their intimate lives without automatically reaching for prescriptions. I want you to know something before we begin. I have spent over a decade sitting across from men in my clinic, good men, strong men who are quietly suffering. And what breaks my heart every single time is that the solution was available to them all along, hiding in plain sight on the produce aisle. Today, I am going to give you the truth that a standard 15-minute doctor's appointment almost never has time to deliver. 5 foods, ranked from effective to absolutely life-changing. Let's get into it. Let me be honest with you about what is actually happening inside your body after 50. It starts with your blood vessels. As you age, your body produces less nitric oxide, a molecule that acts like a natural signal telling your blood vessels to relax and expand. When those vessels stay tight and rigid, blood flow everywhere in your body suffers. And down there is one of the first places you will feel it, because that area depends entirely on strong, unrestricted circulation. I'm talking about waking up and noticing that mornings just aren't what they used to be. I'm talking about performance that feels unpredictable, sometimes fine, sometimes frustrating, with no clear reason why. I'm talking about the quiet embarrassment of pulling away from intimacy with your partner because you're not sure what your body will do. I'm talking about the toll that takes on a relationship, on your sense of yourself as a man. A 2022 report from the American Urological Association found that reduced blood flow is the primary physiological cause of declining male performance in 78% of men over 50. And a Harvard Medical School study found that men with poor dietary habits had 40% lower nitric oxide production by age 60 compared to men who ate specific circulation-boosting foods. Here is what most urologists won't tell you, largely because there is no prescription pad required for this conversation. Your diet is the single most direct lever you have over your body's blood flow. The 5 foods I'm about to share work by restoring, reactivating, and amplifying your body's own natural circulation pathways. Same age, same body, completely different outcomes. Let me show you exactly how. Before we get into food number 5, I want you to do one thing right now. Hit that like button. It takes 1 second and it tells me you want more content like this. Drop a comment below and tell me where in the world you're watching from. I genuinely read them, and I love seeing men from every corner of the globe taking their health seriously. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do it now so you never miss a strategy that could protect your health and your quality of life. Stick with me all the way through number 1. I promise you, it is the most surprising and the most powerful item on this list. Food number 5, pomegranate. Most men think of pomegranate as something their wife puts in a salad. They have no idea it is one of the most potent circulation-restoring foods on the planet. Here is the truth. This fruit has been used medicinally for over 3,000 years, and modern science has now caught up with what ancient cultures already knew. Let me explain why this works on a biological level, because understanding the mechanism helps you stay committed. Pomegranate is packed with punicologens and punicic acid, 2 compounds that directly stimulate your endothelium, which is the thin inner lining of your blood vessels. When your endothelium is healthy and well stimulated, it produces more nitric oxide. More nitric oxide means your vessels dilate, they open up wider, allowing blood to move freely through areas it has been struggling to reach. Pomegranate also reduces oxidative stress on your vessel walls, which is one of the primary reasons blood flow declines as we age. Think of oxidative stress like rust on a pipe. Pomegranate essentially polishes that pipe clean. A landmark 2021 study published in the Journal of Urology followed 61 men between the ages of 53 and 70 with documented blood flow decline. After drinking 8 ounces of pure pomegranate juice daily for 3 months, 47% of those men reported measurable improvement in firmness and potency. The researchers attributed the improvement directly to increased nitric oxide bioavailability. Here is the exact protocol I give my patients. 8 ounces, that is 1 cup of 100% pure pomegranate juice every morning with breakfast. No added sugar, no cocktail blend. Pure juice, or alternatively, 1 tablespoon of pomegranate concentrate mixed into water. If juice is hard to find, a high-quality pomegranate extract capsule standardized to 40% punicosides taken daily is your next best option. Start this tonight. It takes 30 days of consistent daily use before you will feel the difference. But the difference is real. One of my patients, Gerald, was 64 years old, a retired firefighter from Georgia. He came to me embarrassed and frustrated, telling me that his mornings had gone dark, as he put it, no morning wood in over 2 years, and intimacy with his wife had all but stopped. He had tried various supplements with no results. I put him on pomegranate juice as his starting point. After 6 weeks, he called my office. He said, "Doc, I don't know what's in that juice, but I feel like I'm 45 again in the mornings." His wife noticed too. He told me she started teasing him about it, which made him laugh. That is the kind of result that reminds me why I do this work. But food number 4 is even more powerful when it comes to the speed at which it works. Keep watching. Food number 4, watermelon. I know what you are thinking. Watermelon? That is mostly water and sugar. Gentlemen, I hear this all the time, and this is one of the most costly misconceptions I encounter in my clinic. Watermelon is, without question, one of nature's most underestimated circulation boosters. Let me explain why this works on a biological level, because understanding the mechanism helps you stay committed. Watermelon is extraordinarily rich in an amino acid called L-Citrulline. When you consume L-Citrulline, your kidneys convert it into another amino acid called L-Arginine. And L-Arginine is the direct precursor to nitric oxide production in your blood vessel walls. In plain English, watermelon feeds your body the raw materials it needs to make the very molecule that opens up your blood vessels and sends circulation surging to that area. What makes watermelon special is that it delivers L-Citrulline in a food matrix your body absorbs far more efficiently than most synthetic supplements. And here is the fascinating part: the rind contains even higher concentrations of L-Citrulline than the red flesh. A 2019 study published in the journal Nutrients found that men who supplemented with L-Citrulline, the same compound, concentrated in watermelon, experienced a 68% improvement in blood flow markers after just 4 weeks. The researchers noted it worked by increasing nitric oxide levels without any of the side effects associated with pharmaceutical options. Here is the exact protocol I give my patients. 2 to 3 cups of fresh watermelon daily, ideally in the morning or early afternoon. If you want to maximize the L-Citrulline content, blend the white rind along with the flesh into a smoothie. Alternatively, a high-quality L-Citrulline supplement providing 3 grams daily taken in the morning is equivalent. For my patients who struggle with fresh fruit, this supplement pathway works just as well. Give it 4 weeks of consistency. I want to tell you about Marcus, a 71-year-old retired school teacher who came to me after his cardiologist had cleared him, but he still felt, in his words, like my body just gave up on me. He and his wife hadn't been intimate in 3 years. He was deeply withdrawn. I started him on a simple morning smoothie protocol with watermelon and rind. 6 weeks later, he walked into my office standing taller. He said, "Dr. Collins, I feel like a man again." His wife sent my office a thank you card. I still have it. Now, food number 3 combines with everything above in a way that multiplies the effect. Don't go anywhere. Food number 3. Dark leafy greens, specifically spinach and arugula. Most men over 50 know they should eat their greens. What almost none of them know is exactly why these 2 particular greens are extraordinary for blood flow down there. And it comes down to one specific compound most doctors never mention. Let me explain why this works on a biological level, because understanding the mechanism helps you stay committed. Spinach and arugula, especially arugula, are among the highest dietary sources of inorganic nitrates on the planet. When you eat these greens, the friendly bacteria in your mouth and gut convert those nitrates into nitrites, and then into nitric oxide. This is a completely separate pathway from the one stimulated by pomegranate and watermelon, which means these foods are additive. They are not redundant. You are essentially hitting your blood vessel walls from two different directions at once, flooding your system with circulation-boosting nitric oxide. Arugula, in particular, has 8 times the nitrate concentration of spinach, making it arguably the single most nitrate-dense vegetable you can eat, which is a fact that will become very relevant when we get to number 1 on this list. A 2022 study from the European Journal of Nutrition measured nitric oxide levels in men over 55 who consumed 200 grams of nitrate-rich vegetables daily for 6 weeks. The result: a 47% increase in circulating nitric oxide and a 23% measurable improvement in blood vessel flexibility, what doctors call endothelial function. Here's the exact protocol I give my patients. 2 packed cups of arugula daily, either in a salad or blended into a smoothie. The key is to not use antibacterial mouthwash before eating your greens. This kills the bacteria in your mouth that kickstart the nitrate conversion process. I know that sounds like a strange instruction, but the research is very clear. Skip the mouthwash before your green meals. Add olive oil and lemon, both enhance nitrate absorption. Do this 5 days per week minimum. Robert, age 67 and a retired accountant, had been eating fast food for most of his life. He came to me reporting that his mornings had become completely silent, his words, and that he avoided intimacy because he feared embarrassment. I introduced him to a simple arugula salad protocol. No medications, just greens, olive oil, and lemon every day at lunch. After 8 weeks, he sat down in my clinic and said, "Something is waking up again." He was beaming. He looked 10 years younger. That is what restoring circulation does to a man's energy and confidence. Food number 2 is going to surprise you. Most men actively avoid it because they think it is bad for them. Keep watching, because this next one is a game changer. Food number 2. Dark chocolate, minimum 70% cacao. Gentlemen, I want you to hear this clearly, because I know what you have been told. Dark chocolate, real, high cacao dark chocolate is one of the most potent blood flow restoring foods I recommend to my patients over 50. And yes, your doctor probably never mentioned it. Let me explain why this works on a biological level, because understanding the mechanism helps you stay committed. Dark chocolate with 70% or higher cacao content is loaded with flavonoids, specifically epicatechin and catechin. These compounds do something remarkable. They directly stimulate the enzyme ENO's endothelial nitric oxide synthase, which is essentially the factory inside your blood vessel walls that manufactures nitric oxide. When you increase ENOS activity, your vessels produce more nitric oxide consistently, even between meals. But it goes further. The flavonoids in dark chocolate also reduce inflammation in your vessel walls, lower cortisol, your primary stress hormone that constricts blood vessels, and improve the flexibility of red blood cells so they can squeeze through smaller capillaries more effectively. Those smaller capillaries, gentlemen, are exactly the ones responsible for circulation down there. A 2021 randomized controlled trial published in the British Journal of Nutrition found that men who consumed 40 grams of 85% dark chocolate daily for 8 weeks saw a 38% improvement in blood flow markers compared to a placebo group. The lead researcher described dark chocolate's effect on nitric oxide production as clinically significant. Here is the exact protocol I give my patients. 1 to 1.5 ounces of dark chocolate at 70% cacao or higher every single day. The best time is mid-afternoon, between 2 and 4 p.m., when your cortisol levels are naturally dropping. Pair it with a small handful of walnuts for an additional arginine boost. Avoid milk chocolate. The dairy proteins actually bind to the flavonoids and block absorption. It must be 70% or darker. This is not permission to eat an entire bar. 1 ounce. Consistent. Daily. I have 2 patient stories for this one, because the results have been so consistent that I cannot choose just one. First, Thomas, 69, a former Marine and current golf enthusiast, came to me convinced nothing natural would work for him after years of declining performance. I told him to add dark chocolate to his afternoon routine for 90 days and track his mornings. At his follow-up, he laughed and said, "Doc, my wife thinks I'm taking something. I told her it's just chocolate and she didn't believe me. His morning wood had returned for the first time in 4 years. Second was Raymond, 74, a widower who had recently started a new relationship. He was terrified about intimacy and came to me quietly, almost whispering his concern. Within 10 weeks of the dark chocolate protocol, combined with arugula salads, he reported that his confidence had been completely restored. He told me, "I feel like the man I always was. I just needed the right fuel." That conversation stays with me. Now, we have arrived at number 1. And I want you to prepare yourself, because this one specific vegetable, is the reason this entire video exists. Everything we just discussed amplifies the power of number 1. Let's go. Food number 1. Beetroot, the vegetable that changes everything, gentlemen. Let me introduce you to the most powerful circulation-restoring food available to a man over 50. It costs less than $2. It has been grown on this earth for thousands of years, and the research behind it is so compelling that multiple professional athletic organizations now use it as a legal performance enhancer. That vegetable is the beet. The humble, deep red, often overlooked beet. Most men who hear beets think of their grandmother's canned side dish. They walk right past it in the produce aisle. That is one of the most expensive dietary mistakes a man over 50 can make, and I want to fix that today. Let me explain why this works on a biological level, because understanding the mechanism helps you stay committed. Beets contain the single highest concentration of dietary nitrates of any vegetable on Earth, roughly 250 milligrams per 100 grams. But here is where beets do something no other food does quite so effectively. The nitrates in beets bypass normal digestive variability and flood your bloodstream with a sustained surge of nitric oxide that can last 6 to 8 hours after consumption. That is not a single spike, that is a wave. Your blood vessels stay open, relaxed, and expansive for the better part of a full day from a single serving of beets. But the story gets even better. Beets also contain betalains, the pigments that give them their deep red color, which are powerful anti-inflammatory compounds that reduce damage to your endothelium. A healthy endothelium is the foundation of every other circulation pathway we discussed today. Every other food on this list works better when your endothelium is in good condition. Beets repair and protect it simultaneously. Think of beets as the foundation, and everything else we discussed as the walls and the roof. You need the foundation first, and there is a third mechanism. Beets naturally lower systolic blood pressure, the top number, by an average of 4 to 10 millimeters of mercury. Why does that matter for blood flow down there? Because high blood pressure damages the very small blood vessels responsible for circulation in that area first, before larger vessels are affected. Protecting those vessels is protecting your potency. A 2020 study published in the journal Nitric Oxide, yes, there is an entire scientific journal dedicated to this molecule, followed 78 men between the ages of 50 and 72. Those who drank 250 milliliters of concentrated beet juice daily for 30 days experienced 64% improvement in blood flow velocity to peripheral tissues, including the pelvic region. 64% in 30 days. The researchers described it as a clinically meaningful improvement, equivalent to 2 years of cardiovascular age reversal. A separate 2023 study from the University of Exeter found that men who consumed beetroot concentrate before physical activity had 16% greater blood flow to their muscles compared to placebo, and the effect was even more pronounced in men over 55. Here is the exact protocol I give my patients, and please write this down, because the timing and the form matter enormously. Option 1, 2 medium raw beets, juiced or blended, consumed in the morning. Option 2, 70 milliliters of concentrated beet juice available at most health food stores, taken 90 minutes before any physical activity or intimacy. Option 3, high-quality beetroot powder, 2 teaspoons in water every morning. The critical rule: do not use antibacterial mouthwash for at least 30 minutes before or after consuming beets. The bacteria in your mouth are essential to the nitrate to nitric oxide conversion chain. Mouthwash kills those bacteria and can cut the effectiveness of beets by up to 90%. Pair your beets with vitamin C orange juice, lemon, or a supplement to protect the nitric oxide once it is produced. And for maximum results, combine beets with your dark chocolate and arugula protocol. On days when all three come together, the synergistic effect on your circulation is extraordinary. I have to share 2 patient stories here, because this vegetable has produced results in my clinic that I am still in awe of. The first is David, 63 years old, a high school football coach from Texas. David came to me after his wife had gently suggested he see someone about their distance, not just physical but emotional. He told me he felt like his manhood had slipped away quietly, and he didn't know when it had left. He was waking up every morning feeling like half a man. I put him on the beetroot protocol morning beet juice, no mouthwash, paired with arugula at lunch. 32 days later, he called my office. He said, "Dr. Collins, I need you to know my mornings are back, full and strong, like I'm in my 30s. He cried a little. So did I. The second is Walter, 77 years old, a retired pastor who had essentially accepted that intimate life was behind him. His wife was 74, and they had been married 51 years. He came to me almost apologetically, as if he were wasting my time. I told him, "Walter, your body has not given up. It just needs the right signal." 12 weeks of beetroot concentrate, arugula, and dark chocolate. At his next appointment, he sat down, folded his hands, and said, "Dr. Collins, my wife cried last week good tears. She said she got her husband back. I have been a urologist for 12 years, and I have never grown tired of hearing those words. Here is your complete implementation system, simple, progressive, starting tonight. Tonight, buy beetroot juice or beetroot powder. This is your foundation. Begin your morning beet protocol starting tomorrow. No mouthwash before or after. Tomorrow morning, add your arugula or spinach salad at lunch. Dress it with olive oil and lemon. Skip the mouthwash before eating. This week, add 1 ounce of 70% dark chocolate every afternoon between 2 and 4 p.m. Pair it with walnuts. Weeks 2 through 4, add pomegranate juice or concentrate to your mornings. Begin tracking your mornings each day. Are they returning? Are they stronger? Write it down. Data keeps you accountable. Week 4 onward, add watermelon or L-Citrulline supplementation. By now, all 5 foods are working together as a complete circulation system. What to expect? Most of my patients notice the first. Changes within 2 to 3 weeks: more energy, better mornings, stronger sensation. By week 6 to 8, the majority report measurable, meaningful improvement in performance and confidence. Give your body the full 90 days. Consistency is the entire game. Let me leave you with this, gentlemen. By age 65, nearly 70% of men are experiencing measurable blood flow decline down there. Most of them are sitting quietly with it. Most of them assume it is just aging. Most of them have never been told what I just told you. But you are not most men. You watched this entire video. You stayed through number 1. That tells me something important about who you are. Here is what we covered today. Food 5, pomegranate, restoring your blood vessels from the outside in. Food 4, watermelon, feeding your body the raw materials for nitric oxide production. Food 3, arugula and spinach, flooding your system through a completely separate biological pathway. Food 2, dark chocolate, activating the factory inside your vessel walls that manufactures nitric oxide on demand. And food 1, beets, the single most powerful natural source of dietary nitrates on Earth, capable of nearly doubling blood flow in 30 days. You have more power than you realize. These are not complicated interventions. They are grocery store decisions. Produce aisle choices. 30-second morning habits. The difference between the man who feels 40 at 65 and the man who feels 80 at 65 is largely found on a plate. I want you to start tonight. Pick up beets. Pick up arugula. Add the dark chocolate tomorrow. Give your body 90 days of real fuel and watch what it does for you, not just down there, but in your energy, your confidence, your mornings, your marriage. I'm Dr. Sarah Collins. Declining blood flow is not a life sentence. Your daily choices are your daily medicine. You are more capable of reclaiming your vitality than any doctor ever gave you credit for, and you deserve to know that. Now hit that like button if this video opened your eyes. Drop a comment and tell me, which food surprised you most? I genuinely read every single comment and I respond as often as I can. Subscribe so you never miss a video like this one. And share this with a man in your life who needs to hear it, because far too many men are suffering in silence when the answer is right there in the produce aisle. I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves, gentlemen. You are worth it.